Looks like we do.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And we have a sword with extra candles.
Alright, let me see if I know how to... I don't know which screen I'm trying, which square I need to put that in, so...
So both making the choice to scroll over to level 3, which as we saw in the previous race, was a quick indicator that we had second quest overworld. They in fact see the normal level 3 here, and it is not level 3, so we have got a shuffle cave situation on our hands.
Alright, that's step 1 towards having a seed that won't go down in about 35 or 40 minutes. They're actually going to have to look for the dungeons.
And we might have 0 HP on our hands. A little bit early to tell, but possibility.
May have normal secrets and shop prices with the 10 secret to everybody found, and a 31 as well, so looking more likely now.
Yeah, but door repairs, shops, and secrets all linked together, and if they are not shuffled, they will all be the normal vanilla values. We do have shuffled Armos, though, and a recorder to boot. Unfortunately, Fred takes a death.
But he did pick up the recorder.
I don't think he got it in time.
Oh, did he not? Oh, well, let's remove it. I guess it would be showing up in his B item slot at this point if he did.
Yeah, he unfortunately died. This is a nasty screen when you end up with fast Armos and low heart count. Yeah. It can you can die super easy.
Now DigShake did pick up the recorder. I did see him grab it.
Yeah, and Fred gonna head back for that. Being first, it could still be mixed quest even. Level 3 being only one of the indicators that it could be first quest, so we will have to see them make their way to either level 2 or level 5 to determine whether or not this is indeed mixed quest or not. Most on that hunt for bombs, DigShake did find some. I'm not quite sure what dropped it, but you know, drop groups being shuffled is a possibility in these flags as well. So everything that would normally drop would not drop. But wow, 2 awesome things. Go ahead and point them out, Liquid.
Well, we have found level 7 in its normal spot below the recorder lake. DigShake trying to bomb a wall in the Lost Woods that is only bombable in first quest, letting us know that we have a mixed quest overworld, and then locating level 9 in the very southwest corner.
Yeah, so that recorder actually is a big find early on for these guys, due to the fact that there are now so many possible locations that can be opened up by the recorder, and one of them being level 7.
Yep, which had the wand as its dungeon item, which could be huge if we wind up finding a magic book in a shop somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the large shield yet, so definitely a possibility that Boomstick's still on the table, and 3 large secrets available for these guys to find, with it being mixed quest still, so definitely not something that would be out of their range.
Yeah, it is looking like we've got a 0 HP regular enemy seed. The boss HP is either standard or shuffle that and get enough of a sample size watching the fights.
So nice bubblegum pink level 7 here. I would have to say we're probably, at least from the indicators here, on vanilla level 7 dungeon shape. But that could be different. But it does look like it is possibly vanilla level 7. Yeah. However, it looks like they're key blocked, so unfortunately going to have to make their way around elsewhere.
But it was interesting to note that while level 7 was in its normal spot, level 3 was not. So we do have... it's probably a good thing they didn't find level 7 first, because then that might lead them to think that all the dungeons are in their regular locations.
Yes, indeed. And now Fred determining, in fact, that it is a mixed quest after not being able to bomb north of start. So that, again, just there's so many more things now that they have to check. Fortunately, their early recorder removes a lot of the backtracking, as you'll be able to hit those 10 locations along the way.
Yeah. And what Adagio was talking about, those locations in the second quest overworld, there are numerous more spots that have caves that can be opened by playing the recorder, whereas in the first quest it's just the one where we saw level 7. In mixed quest, it may or it may not, so we'll either see a whirlwind ready to whisk them away, or we will see a cave be opened. Only time will tell on each screen that that is a possibility on.
And DigShake finding what should be the transport staircase here in level 7. It does not appear that we have got randomized rooms between dungeons, and what that would mean is for, level 2 could then contain a river room. Basically, the rooms between all the dungeons are thrown into a big pot and distributed, whereas when that flag is not on, only the original rooms that were in those dungeons are available, and it seems to be the case here that you have only got the original rooms, and DigShake does find a way to explore level 7 just a little bit more.
It does. Looks like he's having a tough time making it. Oh, no, he was able to get around. His stream is kind of slowing down on my end. I may have to pull up a separate window for him. But he does get around the what I thought was going to be a ladder block.
I'm pretty sure that was a diagonal room there that he was stuck in, or something of that nature. It's so hard to tell without a compass, but it actually probably was the Chevy room, to be honest, coming in from the left-hand side. So that's what made it so hard. And Boomstick is available. Oh my goodness, with the early wand, that is a big deal.
Oh man. So I guess Fred saw it in a shop somewhere?
Yeah, he bombed. It would be 2 east of level 5 in vanilla, and it turned out to have a book.
Alright.
Wow, with the early wand find, that is a big deal. Especially if it takes DigShake a little bit to find that shop. Fred finds level 4 up in the far northeast, so we'll see if he's able to make his way through this dungeon. There's a pretty high probability that there is a ladder block here, and as he walks straight up, he runs into the Chevy room.
That's a pretty quick way to realize you're not going anywhere in that room.
Yes, Saber, no shapes due to the dark room. That is correct. And it does find a quick compass. However, again, ladder blocked. Yeah, that happens quite often whenever you do not have randomized dungeon rooms and you have vanilla dungeons, just because of the numerous amount of river rooms in level 4 and due to all of the choke points due to how linear it is at the beginning of the level.
And I can't remember whether you confirmed it earlier or not, Adaginos, but we are seeing what appears to be the standard dungeon shapes for these levels.
That is correct. And to answer Zarnax's question in chat, yes, there are 0 dark rooms available in shapes. It is not possible to have a dark room. Yeah. So if you walk into level 4 or 6 or 7 and you run into a dark room, you know right away that you do not have shapes. And DigShake managing to dig up that Triforce out of level 7, so the exploration paying off for him, and he's going to be able to just say goodbye to what is probably one of the worst dungeons in vanilla Zelda.
Oh, absolutely. You got everything you can possibly get out of level 7. You are more than happy to be leaving it behind just 9.5 minutes or so into this race. Is it 32 or 33 rooms in the randomizer? I don't know if the dark room in the top left corner is counted in Loz's 33 rooms claim.
I believe it is 33 rooms for sure.
Okay.
But they don't call that map the demon for nothing.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
Oh, Fred finding that 100 secret. Let's see if he makes the book play here.
Oh, we're hoping for it. We're not rooting for Fred necessarily, but you know, everybody loves a boomstick.
Yeah, the boomstick is so much fun to see, and even with the 0 HP seed, it transforms the game, and DigShake should find the shop for that pretty soon as well. He's checking all these desert spots on the way through, just to make sure that they aren't, in fact, openable. But yeah, Fred is going to make that play for the boomstick here, it looks like, and I can't say that I blame him.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, so basically now he has a ranged weapon that kills Wizrobes, a ranged weapon that kills Dark Nuts. He can open every wall for nothing.
Yeah.
Unlimited
explosion.
Actually needs bombs. Yeah, you can't, unless you're really skilled, open an overworld spot without bombs. But that'll be the only thing left that they need him for.
Yeah. And in a 0 HP seed, it's not necessarily such a big issue for combat, but it is always nice to know in the back of your mind you can pretty much eradicate anything other than boss enemies that aren't susceptible to bombs by just firing the boomstick away.
And those pesky Pulse Voice, which fortunately still died in a sword hit. So DigShake finding level 4 and is going to quickly find out that it is ladder blocked, unfortunately.
So we would say, you know, DigShake with the early lead with the Triforces, but with Fred having the boomstick, that is something that can make up time in a hurry, especially if Dig never gets it and we find ourselves a level 9 with a lot of bomb walls. Although with it not being shapes, I guess they can maybe try to mitigate some of the necessary bombing.
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine that Fred's trip through 7 is going to be a little bit faster just due to the fact that you don't have to look for bombs and, you know, you could just kill things faster. So he will make up some time there. However, again, a lot of what they're doing right now is exploration on the overworld. And again, DigShake will find that bookshop fairly quickly, as I'm sure his routing is going to take him up there. So he's going to know that's available. And while he might find it 5 minutes later, at this point in the seed, I don't know that it creates a huge advantage unless Fred just bumps into a whole bunch of dungeons real quick that, you know, DigShake takes a little bit longer to find.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why he's got to try to capitalize on this as quickly as possible. Hope, you know, obviously he's still, like I said, doing a lot of overworld exploration because you don't want to just jump right back into one dungeon this early in the race. And Fred picking up a candle now as well. In another, he found another boomstick shop.
A definite good call on his part. Obviously, you need the candle to explore a lot of the overworld. Worth picking up for sure. And again, with 0 HP and a boomstick, I don't know that hearts are really that big of a deal.
Speaking of hearts, we see one on the coast in its normal location. Certainly, we can't guarantee that the candle is going to be required, since we don't know where the dungeons are going to be located. But there's just so many spots that you have to think that it's, you know, it's a great 60 rupees.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and chances are there will be a dungeon under a bush spot, and if not, there are other things available you want to find. And speaking of finding, DigShake did locate that book, so he knows that that's on the table. So I'm sure at this point he'll be saving rupees for that.
He also located the white sword, which loses some of its luster as Fred finds the magical sword while I'm talking about this. Those items lose their luster a little bit when regular enemies are 0 HP. Obviously, it can help out with bosses and potentially with Ganon, but a lot of times with these 0 HP seeds, with the more skilled players like we're seeing here, you're not going to be in a big rush for hearts to try to pick up an upgraded sword.
Yeah, so DigShake making what I think is a wise play. He does pick up the candle, knows where the book is, but buying the candle just gives him access to the, again, what we were talking about before. It kind of unlocks the overworld, and he's going to run into those secrets at some point and be able to buy the book.
Yeah.
And to answer Edav's question in the chat, the blue candle can only be used once on the screen, and you have to leave the screen and reload it to use it again, whereas the red candle can be used multiple times on the same screen.
Yeah. Twice concurrently, and then again anytime after the fire goes out, I believe. Fred discovers level 3 and has to spend a key immediately upon entering.
Yeah, fortunately level 3 is pretty high on the key drops, so should be able to get some of those back, hopefully.
And it's not a particularly large dungeon, as we know exactly the shape it's going to be, as we see Fred picking up a heart container, going down into the staircase to find the ladder.
Yeah, awesome find this early in the seed, and with the boomstick and the ladder, we may see Fred start to pull a little bit of a lead here on DigShake.
Yeah. Obviously, these are all items that Dig is going to come across, especially as he's about to pick up a large secret. But until he does, he doesn't have them, and Fred can start to maybe widen the gap a little bit.
Yeah, DigShake kept, piling up the rupees real quick. He was at 0, now at 213, so I'm sure found 2 large secrets pretty quick. I can't imagine he is heading straight up to buy that book. So again, the boomstick not creating a large gap in itself, and level 3 should be pretty easy for DigShake to find at this point as well. So lagging just a little bit behind, but many things can change over the course of the seed.
As you forecasted or prognosticated, Fred finding an assortment of keys in level 3.
Yeah, and wisely, I think, when you're short on keys and you find one of these dungeons, it's never a bad play to spend a little bit of extra time picking up some keys. You're guaranteed to find the any key in the next dungeon, but it's never a bad play because you never know when you're going to get, the level 1 that's got 7 key doors in a row in order to get into it. And we've seen it before. We had a seed the other night where the only logical way in the randomizer was you take the single key in level 3 and leave, or you have to go buy a key. And so, if you can find them, you take them.
Yes. And we found the common first world problem, I guess we call it first quest problems in The Legend of Zelda, of having the boomstick. Fred has his full assortment of 8 bombs and had 3 bomb drops on one screen. Has no use for them whatsoever, unfortunately. And now, if he didn't have the boomstick, he wouldn't be able to find the bomb anywhere. So.
Right. We have a term for that got coined back when we were doing the regular 80% races, and we call that an embarrassment of bombs. Whenever you've already got 8 and you have 3 that drop on the screen, and then you get to the next dungeon and you don't see any run out. It's always interesting.
All right, and Dig found level 1 and found the Triforce immediately. Obviously, he is now going to go back in and check it out because there are 2 item drops in level 1.
Yeah, there was an occasion we had vanilla hints, and it said the secret's in the tip of the nose in 7, and it turned out the Triforce was there, so sometimes they are true. And Sardia pointing out that, in fact, ladder could be a determining factor, but the ladder isn't going to really play any part in levels 1 and 2, so if he runs into those early, he should be okay. It's just going to be whether or not he runs into that in time for, level 6 and level 8, which could still contain some ladder blocks, as we do see Fred making his way back to level 4, getting through that block.
Alright, and a magical shield pickup in level 1. It was the floor drop dungeon item in level 1 for DigShake.
And just opting out of that room, as he already has the floor drop. Could have had a key, but 4 keys is a good place to be. At some point, you make the decision, okay, I've got enough keys to do what I want to do. Let's save some time and not farm anymore.
Yeah, he's certainly since he's already picked up the Triforce, his real intent here is just to find out what that second item is as quickly as he can. And once he saw that it wasn't in that direction, he was on to other things.
Oh man, and this room, even with randomized or shuffled rooms, it seems like 50% of the time the item room in level 1 is not shuffled.
Mm-hmm. Up in that top.
Oh no! Did we just get both boomerangs?
No, the magical shield was in.
Oh, the shield, okay.
But the blue Nana, the magical boomerang, the second item in level 1, and that's it for DigShake. Despite it being the most devastating attack item in a 0 HP seed, 8 direction beam sword all the way across the screen, I'm going to go ahead and opt out on that one.
Yeah, I mean, again, and like you were saying, it is extremely good at 0 HP, because if you can get it into the corner of a room, as it comes back, it's going to kill everything on the way through that is vulnerable to a boomerang. So we've seen a couple of occasions where that was put to extremely good use and cleared a room in just two or three of the throws of the boomerang.
Yeah. One of these days they'll listen and everyone will pick that up in a 0 HP seed. Not today, apparently, as DigShake says no. Although he is, he's found a couple of those take any heart containers, whereas Fred has found a couple of heart containers inside dungeons, both at 5 hearts now. If they want the white sword, they have a pretty good shot at being able to pick it up at this point. Oh, yeah. And Fred's key troubles will be done for the rest of this race as he picks up the magical key in level 4.
Yeah, good find for him. And again, he's just made, I think, the right decisions. You know, he's checked the forest, he found the ladder, he has the any key now. It's kind of pushing him ahead just a little bit. And you know, whereas Dig is looking for other items or other dungeons, and unfortunately, just not having the same kind of item left that Fred is.
Yeah, well, it's almost like Fred came up with this concept.
Maybe.
This question in chat, does Fred know where the white sword is? He does not know, to the best of my knowledge, where the white sword is. But he certainly, if he came across it, he could choose, but I guess if he stumbled upon it, he might just go ahead and see if he can get it, but he's not going to spend a lot of time looking for it, for sure. As he picks up the Triforce in 4, he is done with that level for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, Fred did find the white sword when he was up there around the boomstick, so he does know it's there, but, you know, at this point, you gotta wonder how valuable it is, and that might be something they pick up if they walk back through the area, but again, you don't want to waste overworld time backtracking for that right now due to the 0 HP. It might prove good for Ganon, but again, it's just one of those things where both of these guys are fantastic racers and aren't taking any seconds for granted.
Yeah. We saw an interesting trick pulled off by Fred there. Having the Triforce out of level 4 and the recorder, he used the recorder to transport himself to level 4, but it was the Vanilla Games location of level 4, so he got to check one of the raft spots without having the raft. Unfortunately, there was nothing of use in it for him.
Feasel making the correct answer for what A stands for. It's, oh yeah, boy, I got infinite keys.
I believe it's technically Almighty is the legitimate answer, but from the Japanese game manual or something like that. Somebody told me once. That's secondhand knowledge.
Almighty key is in fact the correct terminology for it, but a lot of times it is referred to the magical key or the any key. And DigShake finding the ladder in level 3, so that is going to unlock some things for him here.
Oh, absolutely. But let's say maybe 8 to 10 minutes that Fred has had the ladder, and Dig is not. I don't know how much of a advantage he put it to in that time, seeing as he went through. I guess he went through level 4. I don't know if they were ladder blocked out of 4 earlier. Or if it was
they were. It was a ladder block straight up. So I would imagine that DigShake will probably make his way back to 4 as he knows where it is, and it's an easy item and an easy complete. He does have the compass already. So I can imagine he's going to be right there with Fred, just trailing a little bit behind. But again, anything is possible with these seeds. And Fred, goes back to 7. So again, they're playing the game of, okay, well, I know where these dungeons are. Let's try to clear them first, and then worry about the overworld.
Yeah, and anything can happen at this point. We say Fred has a slight lead, even though Dig has more Triforces. We feel like Fred might have a little bit more information on his side, but it's anybody's race at this juncture, and will be even more so in level 9. I feel like, unless it's just a walk right into Zelda.
Yeah. And yeah, Air Bomb 2124, there is a flag available that will change the book from fire to a bomb explosion, which is enabled on this seed. So you now have the ability to shoot bombs, pretty much. And a level 6 find for Fred.
Oh. And yes, Zero Burn. Fred does have infinite keys, and for most cases, infinite bombs. Outside of bombing overworld spots, he's pretty much, has no need for bombs at this point.
And DigShake checking the coast, not finding anything of use, but I can imagine he's going to loop back up towards level 4, and we'll find that any key as well. So, again, it's difficult to say. Fred does have the Triforce out of 7, but DigShake's already completed level 1, and Dig going to buy the bait just for good measure, to make sure that if that Rumble gets shuffled somewhere else, he's not caught unawares.
It very well could have been in 7 and we just didn't see it, because I don't think either guy came that close to doing a full clear or anything, but certainly not a bad play to be prepared for what is a simple block, but could really ruin your run.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the non-forced Ganon, or even the forced Ganon that has the Zelda block by the meat guy. Fred gonna make quick work of these Wizrobes. Again, with the boomstick, it makes life so easy. Even though it's 0 HP, you get the AoE explosion off of it, which can catch extra Wizrobes, just simplifying these rooms even more.
Yeah, and DigShake will probably even have an even easier time with him because of his because of having the magical shield. He doesn't have to try to evade their beams. He can take them head on.
Very much so. And Fred finding the Triforce by accident, and I'm sure he's not complaining.
Yeah, I mean, he had the compass, but I don't know that he meant to pick up the Triforce in that situation, because he did not see the item out of 6. Still probably looking for the bow at the very least.
Yeah, but he still hasn't found level 1 or 2, so 6 is one of those dungeons that you save for later, I feel. Or level 8. I mean, 1 and 2 both have got, or 1 and 8 have both got 2 items, and level 2's is easy to locate. So you've got 5 items that you're probably going to want to check for before digging the dragon. And yeah, Boomstick is definitely one of those items, as Fiesel points out, that is pretty overpowered, especially if you get any kind of seed that's got normal hit point values. It makes Wizrobes and Dark Nuts exponentially easier. But again, it's one of those things that was added for fun factor, and it just so happens that there's a 50% chance that it gets turned on in our seeds. And when it does, you've still got to make that gamble. There's been 2 seeds that I bought the book early, and I never found the wand. It just so happened this time the wand was the first item that these guys found.
Yeah, and if you get the wand, and if you're buying the book, in most instances, you're probably never going to have enough money to purchase the blue ring. So sometimes it becomes a one or the other proposition. And like I said, if you buy the book and can never buy the wand, that's 200 or so rupees that have gone to waste. But I feel like in almost every situation, if you could get it, you get it. That seems to have been what works best, especially if you have shapes in a shuffled up level 9.
Yeah, it's just one of those cases where we've had several 9s that have been decided by Boomstick. Somebody has come from behind because they had a Boomstick, and it just simplifies everything. You literally do not have to think about rooms. You just walk in and start throwing wand beams, and that's all you have to do, and you can open up all these doors and everything else. I mean, the only argument against it that you can make is You spend a lot of extra time shooting wand beams into every wall, and you may open a path that you would otherwise not take, provided that you did not have the boomstick.
Yeah, sometimes it can give you too many options, but in most cases, you'd rather have too many options than no options. So, you know, hard to complain about that in the long run. More times than not, it will work out in your favor, I would think.
Yeah, and there was a discussion at one point, Matrick, about what to do with the boomstick, where, you know, it takes 5 rupees to shoot a bomb, or it uses the bomb and shoots it. But at the end of the day, again, it was determined to be a fun mode type item. So, whereas in any kind of like the fall tournament where you've got normal type flags, you will never see the boomstick. But in these flags, everything's random, and it just so happens that that's one of the options that are available. So when it happens, it is broken, but that's just the way it goes.
I did notice earlier, Fred made a purchase of wooden arrows, preparing himself for potentially needing those to take out some Pulse Voices or a Goma if he gets the bow, as he finds level 5 up on Death Mountain.
And then immediately finds a Triforce.
Oh man, that's the kind of dungeon you want to find after you've found everything you need.
Just wow.
Just walk in and pick up the Triforce and say, oh, I'm done with this one. And that's what he's going to do for now. I mean, obviously, if he comes back, he didn't waste a lot of time in there already.
And level 8!
Oh.
And level 2 for DigShake, man, we're finding everything. And look at the Triforce in 8! I think he just goes. Holy cow!
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's just in go mode. With levels 1 and 2 left, I can't say that I blame him. And you know, you could always make the gamble for whether or not Ganon's required, and then come back later. I don't think that's a bad choice, because you explore level 9 in the process. So, just wow. Very generous Triforces.
Yeah. And I think if there's anybody in this tournament that is willing to gamble on the random nature of the randomizer, it's probably Fred. I don't know. I'm not trying to call him a hyper aggressive player or anything like that, but he he understands the flags. I mean, he has to understand the flags better than most or all, because of just the simple fact that he created this. So, knowing that there's literally a 50% chance that you don't have to fight Ganon, as the raft is picked up in level 2 by DigShake.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Gibbs, Fred is normally a Gibdo, and he was a little bit rushed on this seed, so I don't know if he just forgot the chainsaw, or if he just realizes that DigShake is a hell of an opponent, and sometimes it can be difficult to clip with a Gibdo, so, making sure to save those extra few seconds, making sure that screen scrolls and block clips aren't as difficult as they could be with a different sprite.
Yeah, I would be very wary in a tournament setting of using one of the non-link sprites unless I was just really super comfortable with it. Oh, finding a Goma.
Yes, Jerry Rentastic. Fred Coughlin is the creator of the Zelda 1 randomizer. And on the other side is DigShake, who is the creator of the Zelda 2 randomizer.
Finding bombs in the normal Triforce room in level 2. I think he would probably prefer the Triforce in this situation. Picking up the raft for good measure. Have we discovered all the dungeons at this point? If so, he knows that there's only that one spot that he hasn't checked on as far as rafts go.
Yeah, I think the only thing Fred's looking for at this point is level 1, and I don't know that he found level 9. I don't know if he checked the bottom corner or not.
I don't know that he did. I know Dig did, but I don't think Fred got all the way to the bottom left of the Lost Woods. Or is it Lost Woods or Dead Woods? I can't remember the official terminology.
The Dead Woods.
Oh, okay.
And then I think a lot of times the Lost Woods is the section that you normally have to traverse to make it towards the graveyard.
Yes, the up, left, down, left. Okay. Another right Johnny on the spot Triforce pickup in level 2 for Fred, killing the enemy and it landing in his hands, kind of like it does in Link to the Past.
Just gotta find that level 1 now, as 7-8 pointed out that Fred did find level 9. So I would imagine once he finishes here, his next bet is probably going to be the Burn Candle Row, and he should find that fairly quickly.
He's had so much success finding dungeons up here on Death Mountain, he would be remiss not to continue this path for the time being. Question from Pinball Joe, what's in 1? It is the Magical Shield and the Bloomerang.
Yeah, DigShake does find level 6 and finds the Quick Compass, so he's going to know where to go to get that Triforce. And Fred also making his way up towards Candle Row, so should find level 1 quickly. Again, it's just a matter that DigShake has got to go up to Death Mountain at this point to find 5 and 8. And I have to feel that DigShake is going to make the exact same gamble of, I may not need a bow, let's just go.
Yeah, I don't think, like I said, we know the bow is not in level 1. Fred does not know that yet, but once he discovers that it's not there, I don't think we're going to see him say, oh crap, I need to go back into another dungeon and see if I can find the bow. I feel like it's a pretty smart play in that situation to go ahead and see if you can make it through 9 without it.
Yes, indeed. And to answer your question, Chief Lookout, yes, it is still required that you get all 8 Triforce pieces in this round and the next in order to actually enter level 9, regardless if Ganon is required or not.
Oh, and yes, Xylon Lionheart pointing out, DigShake got eaten by a like while he had the magical shield, so that is gone now.
Fantastic, he can screen scroll better now.
He can screen scroll better now, but these whiz robes he actually has to avoid in level 6. Fred did see the Triforce early in level 1, but obviously he's looking to see what the 2 items are.
Yeah, I can't say that I blame him. It's a good call. Level 1's small, it's quick, and you know, again, you're looking for that bow just in case you might need it, and knocking level 1 out while you're here is not a bad choice. And DigShake does find the item in level 6.
Yeah. And it is the Power Bracelet.
Which I think moves our bow chances to level 5, 6, and 8?
5 and 8. Because,
yes, right, because he's in 6. Man.
The 2 dungeons that you walked in and immediately got the Triforce, so...
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if DigShake explores. Having taken the time to look in 6, I wonder if he's going to take the time to look in at least level 8 with 2 items being there, despite the Triforces being super fast. And Fred finding that large shield and then going to head up north and find the Bloomerang here in the dungeon, so not really probably what he's looking for, but I can imagine that after that he's going to head straight to level 9 and will have quite the bit of a time advantage over DigShake.
Yeah. And if he walks, I guess he would probably up A. I was thinking if he walks, it's smart that he hasn't picked up the Triforce yet, so they can get the full health off of the Triforce pickup.
And that is the final Triforce for Fred Coughlin, so we'll see what decision he makes here.
I feel pretty confident knowing the way that Fred has attacked races in the past that he's going to be heading towards level 9.
I think at this point, the thing that DigShake needs to have is a forced Ganon.
Oh,
otherwise, he is just so far behind, especially if he's going to take the time to look for the items. Fred knows where to go for the most part, so that shouldn't be an issue. But the only thing that really could equalize it, I think, is going to be DigShake finding a bow, and you know, obviously Ganon being required, so Fred has to leave level 9. But you know, if Ganon's not required, it's going to take quite the troll seed in order to make this back to even.
All right, Fred's route currently suggests he is not. Oh, he's going to pick up the white sword. Okay, I wasn't sure where he was going.
Yeah, good call on his part. Again, don't know if you need that for Ganon or not, but it is nice to have anyways. No, it is interesting, though, that he went for the white sword without a bow, so he's never actually going to fight Ganon at this point, because he's not going to have the means. So it's just an interesting observation that we would go to get the white sword when everything he will fight in this dungeon, outside of perhaps the Patra main eye, is going to be 0 HP.
That is an interesting observation. Perhaps we'll get a chance to ask him about that.
And meanwhile, DigShake is making his way up here towards the area up here where level 5 and 8 are available. And yeah, Rick, they would be good for land bolas, but I don't know that I would try to sword them when I have a boomstick.
Stand in the doorway and blow them away. Fred taking staircases right off the bat.
Yeah, interesting choice. Oh no, DigShake taking a death on the wisely termed Death Mountain is going to have to make his way all the way back up there. Now, he does have the power bracelet, but he's going to choose to whistle to see where it takes him. That's unfortunately going to cost him another minute or so.
Yeah, that's a tough death for DigShake. Not sure. I don't think he wasn't super hot on the scent of where the dungeons were. I think he was on the road just south of where all the dungeons were. But even so, to have to travel back to Death Mountain at this point, not the way you want to go. And just because the enemies have 0 HP does not mean they deliver 0 HP when they come into contact with you.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things you have to stress that even with 0 HP enemies, Lionels and Wizrogues and Blue Dark Nuts are still extremely deadly enemies. And Patras, as Fred takes about 4 hearts of damage running through that one, and runs right into another one. Patra, please.
Patras abound.
I mean, I was expecting a third one there. I'm a little bit disappointed. And finds the silver arrows!
Oh. Chat making a good point. Fred does have the red potion that he got from a take any you want earlier, so he gets 2 quick hearts from doing the up A, and heads left at the start into. Every time I see a room go dark in level 9, I start to get nervous, especially when they don't have the bow.
Yeah, it's, again, very interesting that Fred has got now the white sword and the silver arrows, but does not have the projectile slinging device. So, you know, if he does run into Ganon, he's going to have to make his way out. I would imagine level 8 will be the place to go, and we haven't seen anything in there yet, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Meanwhile, DigShake checking all the spots on the road just below levels 8 and 5.
Oh no, it happened. I was going to say, he's at 2 hearts and he could take a death, and he does as he gets beamed by a Lionel just as he places a bomb.
That cost the bomb too, that's the unfortunate part, because it didn't explode.
And Ganon is required.
Oh. So he found the shutter door, I'm assuming?
He found the shutter door. What a race!
Oh. This has taken a unique turn.
It's just unfortunate. DigShake has lost, like, nearly 2 minutes right now, dying right by levels 5 and 8, which would have been, you know, his opportunity to catch up. And Fred, unfortunately, going to level 6, which we know is the power bracelet, so going to give a little bit of that time back to DigShake.
Yeah. If Dig can make it through the his arch nemesis, the Lionels, and make it up to that top row of Death Mountain, we could see him pick up some time, but he's still going to have to dig because he has to look for the bow as well.
Yeah, and he's going the completely wrong direction, unfortunately. He's going to go check this power bracelet spot, which isn't a bad choice. It's kind of forgotten a lot of times and was, in fact, a level and a seed earlier today, but just not the right direction. Yeah, and Elna bringing up a fantastic point in chat. The focus needs to be finding the D right now.
Oh, absolutely. We got to see where the item was in 6. It was a couple screens south of the Triforce. We'll see if Fred looks there. It looks like he is going to go in. Yep, he does in fact go there and find the power bracelet. That's all for level 6 for him.
Yes, and DigShake will find level 8 here. So again, Fred knows the direction of, I think, everything but possibly Ganon. I didn't have his volume up, so I didn't hear if he heard Ganon or not. But so Dig still got to find the silver arrows. Still has to determine that Zelda is in fact behind a shutter door. It'll just be interesting to see. He is not checking the side rooms, which means he's going to miss the Triforce. So mayhaps he will run into the bow here.
Yeah. Someone asking, how does Magic Sword work in Randomizer? If there is a flag that can shuffle how many heart pieces you need to pick up the Magic Sword, it can vary from 10 to 14, or it can be turned off and just be the usual, which is 12 hearts. Dragon Dark asking for an item recap. We'll give you what we got here. In level 1, we had the magical shield and the magic boomerang. In level 2, we found the raft. Level 3 had the ladder. Level 4, the any key. We have not seen the item in level 5. Level 6 was the power bracelet. Level 7 had the wand, or magic rod. We have not seen either item in 8 yet, as Fred is currently digging. And level 9 has at least the silver arrows, leads me to believe probably the red ring as well. The Armos item was the recorder, coast item, the heart container, white sword item was the white sword.
And unfortunately, DigShake finding out that the boomstick does not actually do anything to Gleeok. It would be so nice if it did, but we do not have shuffled vulnerabilities yet. And runs into the boomerang, not what he's looking for.
Okay, so we have a boomerang in 8.
And he is going to search out the second item, so very interesting decision here, and it actually turns out to be the correct one, even though he doesn't know it. And meanwhile, Fred is in the same dungeon. We'll see who finds that second item first.
Unfortunately for Dig, if it is the bow, you gotta think Fred's going to find it, and then for Fred, that's all he needs. That's all he's got left. Whereas for Dig, he still has to find level 5. So if you're Dig, you're hoping that to hold out for it to be the very last item that you find, so that you can both hopefully be going into level 9 at about the same time. Just with Fred with a slightly higher level of information on what is going on in 9.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best case scenario, that it ends up in 5 instead of an 8. Again, Dig gonna have to clear that level and get the Triforce, which we know the Triforce isn't hard to find, but the information advantage for Fred is key here, especially having already found the silver arrows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, him having the silver arrows is huge. Now that we know that Ganon, of course, the Ganon is required. I'd forgotten that he did pick those up.
And we do have divergent paths here, so hopefully we'll see the item here pretty quickly.
Fred got one look of that black background room, and Gleeok popped in and said, "No, thank you."
Oh man, and dig down with half a heart. Looks like he
Oh.
found the staircase and trying to get rid of this manhandle, and does.
Fred found the grumble.
Oh man, it is the transport staircase. Not what he's looking for. And Dig wisely using a potion charge here.
Here's another staircase on Fred's end, and it
High
looks like it's the
five!
other end. It's the other side of the transport.
If only they knew, right? It's just so funny watching it that they literally go through the same staircase at the same time. Tenth enemy has the bomb, but who needs that when you've got a boomstick?
Oh, another staircase for Fred, and it is the red candle.
Oh,
So the
man.
foe is in 5.
And DigShake fighting that at the same time, so gonna go grab that Triforce and should find level 5 fairly quickly. It's just, oh no! He left the Triforce!
Oh no! We saw this the other night. I can't remember which race it was, but someone left the Triforce in, I believe, level 8.
Oh man, I mean, it's easy to get to, but not whistling to new dungeons makes this really bad if he forgets that he needs to pick it up.
Oh man.
And a lot of this is the symptom of, man, I need to find the bow. I'm at 51 minutes and I'm against fcoughlin.
Yeah.
I absolutely need to be going. And, oh man, that is just unfortunate.
We've got a push block, a staircase, and a stair, and it's just a corridor.
Yeah, and Dig is definitely pot committed. He knows at this point that the bow is in level 5, so there's no reason to not look for it. Oh, and he finds it right away. Whereas Fred is looking all over the place still. This could be a big deal.
Oh, so it was right above the Triforce.
Yeah, I think Fred will find it here pretty quick too, but the question is he going to remember to go to level 8?
Surely he'll pull up, he'll see, you know, but the only thing is, with level 9 being so far away, if he does make that mistake, it's going to be very costly in a matter of...
Do it! No, DigShake!
He
Oh,
whistled.
he's gonna smack himself.
Oh man. I am so glad that we have the camera view, the face cam view on, or I do pulled up right now for DigShake. The reaction should be something special.
Yeah, I want to pull it up just so I can see it. It's cruel and unusual of me, but man.
Fred picking up a fairy fountain, as here goes Dig into level 9.
Heartbreaking.
And we get the message of ones who does not have the Triforce
Cannot go in.
He's playing it quite well, actually, right now.
Yeah. Oh man.
And to think they would have been going into 9 at almost the exact same time. Obviously, with Fred having the silver arrows and knowing where Zelda is, but still going into 9 at the same time. If that had not happened.
Yeah, that is just, it's heartbreaking.
As someone in chat pointing out, Zelda 2 does not have Triforces in each dungeon, so I guess we should give him a pass.
Yeah, we need to give him some gems. He's already gone through 6 gems at this point, so the 7th was finished in Grand Palace.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. I think Fred's still looking for Ganon, but, you know, at this point, DigShake having to find, you know, the silver arrows is the main thing.
Yeah. And again, another dark room. I keep thinking every time he goes into that dark room, I think, oh, here we go. At least now I don't feel nearly as bad about it for him because he's not without the firepower required to take on Ganon.
Oh, that's interesting. Ganon not in his room.
Oh. Pull up a little sound on Fred's side just so I can kind of get a peek into whether or not we can hear Ganon.
Man, that is just heartbreaking for DigShake. I mean, there's still a chance. Don't think that there's not, but that was just, it was a couple of more minutes. The 2 deaths on Death Mountain and forgetting the Triforce in 8. I mean, he could have already been halfway through level 9 right now, having the bow and just looking for the silver arrows and all the rest of the stuff. And DigShake does make his way into level 9.
And gets to go beyond the first room this time.
Yes, fortunately.
Fred ducking into a staircase and ducking back out, maybe looking to see if he can finagle a red ring out of this.
Decides to pick up... Nope, never mind. I say it looked like he was going to get the compass, but decides against it, knowing that where Zelda is.
Yeah, I guess he does know where. Yeah, he that's the piece of information he has. He needs a compass that'll tell him where Ganon is. Oh, we're getting a Ganon noise.
Oh no! Fred takes a death.
Oh, he whistled.
And DigShake is on the path for silver arrows, I believe. So this will be interesting. I'm pretty sure this Patrick here had the silver arrows.
You may be right. I know it was at the end of a path of a couple of Patras for Fred, was it not?
Oh, no, this is a transport staircase. I know he's really close, though. It was in this general area.
Meanwhile, Fred going right back to where he was earlier. Certainly can't blame him for that, since he did hear Ganon.
Yeah, just unfortunate that he did not make it to his potion in time there.
At least he did get a look at what this room looks like now, knowing the layout of the ladder blocks.
We do have a Ganon on Fred's side, and one of our favorite rooms.
Oh, the moat room.
Oh, and immediately potions after getting high roll drivered.
Probably not a bad call. And we do see that Ganon is not 0 HP.
Yeah, so yet another thing working against DigShake here is he'll have to take 15 hits to kill Ganon. Fred making very good use of that potion. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, goodness. Oh, he just gets him.
Oh, finally getting the stun lock in the corner, man. So close.
Just an unlucky double high roll driver and almost takes the death. That's crazy. Ganon not going down without a fight.
No. He picked a decent room to hang out in this time, for sure.
And Fred gonna make his way back to the staircase. Oh, no, never mind. Zelda's right here. So we do have Fred Coughlin finishing in first place with an official time of 58:34. Pretty solid time for this seed, I would say. Don't you think, Liquid?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's not, outside of the critical error that DigShake made with the Triforce, I mean, he has played extremely well. So, I mean, sub-hour, definitely good for this one with, with the cave locations shuffled. 0 HP certainly helped them, but it's not, there was enough things randomized where this wasn't an automatic 45-minute get in, get out, bing, bang, boom seed, so. Oh, yeah. And the death to Landmola on DigShake's side.
To answer Crystallize Rose question in the chat there, what this means for Dig. Dig now drops to 1 and 2, which means the next race is do or die for him to make it into that playoff race. So he will need to win the next race that he has for sure. Meanwhile, Fred Coughlin makes the 6th and I believe final possibility for the 3-0 bracket. So we'll see if I have the honor of racing him next week.
Yeah, so look, we've got an even number of 3-0 guys, so at least they will all be matched up against one another.
Yeah, and that group is pretty stacked. You've got myself, Crimson Avix, Dracados, Random Effect, Darkwing Duck, and fcoughlin all in the 3-0 group. So no matter how you stake that, that's going to be 3 fantastic races.
Oh yeah. I mean, the tournament was stacked with great players to begin with. It's the guys who are 3-0. It's no surprise they're 3-0 for the most part. The guys who are 2-1, you kind of think, oh, they might have. You're thinking each one of them. I'm thinking, oh, they could have easily been 3-0.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you've got RC Drone in that group. You've got Crystal Saver in that group. Unos, Jam. It's crazy. And JSR unfortunately got one of those crazy sets of matchups where he just got stuck against some really good people as well. And he's in the 1 and 2 group, but easily could have been in the 3-0 group, just depending on the matchup. So, the Swiss tournament style proving to do what it does best, and that is make matchups good.
Yeah, also in that 2-1 group is Amazing Amparos, who has been lights out in randomizer races in the past few months. So. Well, do we have a Fred?
Hello.
Congratulations, sir. Back-to-back wins. Very nice.
Oh, it's an evil.
So, what did you think about that seed?
Started out interesting, getting that wand very early with the recorder, and then finding out Boomstick and Mixed Overworld led me on a very mixed wave of feelings. Then I started finding dungeons. I started finding Triforce's fast in dungeons, and said, "Okay, this is telling me we got to push for it." And then, well, there was a locked door in 9 that said otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting because you went back into 8 right about the time that DigShake found 8, and he chose to dig items out of every level, and found 5 last, unfortunately. So he got the bow just seconds before you did. Unfortunately, one of his big downfalls is he took 2 deaths to Lionel's while finding 5 and 8. We're just south of the screens of them. He had to go back up to Death Mountain, but after searching out both items in 8, forgot to grab the Triforce.
Oh.
So he made it to level 9, and unfortunately was not able to enter. So probably about 3 to 4 minutes of your lead was there. He's still searching, I think, for silver arrows, which you ran into super early in level 9. That was pretty nice.
I just took a little lucky set of stairs there. I was, at the time, hoping to run into Zelda, hoping that she'd be in her room, so I had started going up, and then I took the turn and started having to go down, and every single door was to my left, and I was saying, okay, well, no, those can be Zelda's room, and then I got to a dead end and said, let me just take these stairs. Oh, look, here's the silvers.
Oh.
I got really lucky on that.
By the way, Dig just found a hint in level 9 that said, good luck, we're all counting on you.
Yep, back in the day when I first started coding things, before I even started moving rooms around, I was thinking about, the movie Airplane, which is where that comes from in the first place, and how it was in the original cave, and I started saying to myself, I wonder, and then I realized that's the one old man you're guaranteed to see during the run. So I decided, during level 9, that hint of go to the next room was getting replaced, and that one stayed in there since then.
Just seemed fitting for this run. And at some point in time, Dig purchased a bomb upgrade, and I didn't see that, but he's got 14 bombs.
Yeah, he did purchase that. I believe it was in level 5 when he was running through there. I think it was 79 rupees for 6 bombs, which is fantastic, but unfortunately nearly worthless in a 0 HP seed and with a boomstick. While he does find the red ring, which is kind of nice since he only has 6 hearts.
Oh, geez, yeah. No, I was going to say I had 10 or 11. I have considered trying for magical sword just in case Ganon was required, especially with only having the green tunic there. And, well, it turned out to... I got lucky in the end.
We saw how close that fight was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Absolute nail-biter.
the double Hyrule driver after the last potion. I'm like, no, Fred, no!
I hate that room. I hate that room. I mean, it's a good room to fight in, but I hate that room.
Oh, it was clutch. I'll tell you that. That would have been unfortunate had you died again.
Yeah, you can say that again. If I had, I would have probably just either exited or tried for it. Yeah, I probably would have exited, bought a potion since I had enough money at that point, and gone back in and tried again. Maybe Blue Ring, but probably the potion. But I got lucky.
Yeah, and DigShake, unfortunately, still with just the wooden sword, did not take the option to go back to get that. Now, I do have a question for you that I found. It was just a really odd choice, and it turned out to be right at the end. But not having a bow, what prompted you to go get the white sword? I mean, the only thing obviously would be Patra's, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that with 0 HP enemies and no bow that you chose to go get the white sword.
Yeah, I was thinking along the line of Patra's primarily. I'm not great at combat on those guys anyway, if you've ever seen me play any percent. So I tend to try to avoid Patra room. If I'm going to kill a Patra, I'd rather have the extra oomph from a white sword. Probably shouldn't have done it, but as I said, just at the time, that was the thought that went through my head of I should make sure I can survive these Patras.
It's terrible at any percent with a 30-26 being 10th in the world. It's horrible.
Literal garbage.
I got lucky one run.
That's all it takes, my friend. I am still waiting for that to happen. So Dig still making his way through here, has unfortunately not located the silver arrows yet. Hopefully he will find those fairly soon. I think he's located Ganon and has obviously found Zelda at this point.
He's in the right neighborhood, I think, so he should be there pretty soon.
What kind of staircase was it? Do you remember? Was it a diamond or was it a reverse C?
I think he's about to go into it-ish. I think it was the empty corridor. Was that it? No, it wasn't that one. Okay, never mind. Apparently I mismarked my map then. Oh, okay. Okay, apparently I marked down... Oh, okay. I know what the problem is. Okay, I see approximately where he is. It's in the E column, is where the actual, the first E column.
Oh,
I think it's one room, well, it's above where I see him right now, but I'm not watching the, where your timer is, but the room that he's killing with the keys, it's the room above that, I believe.
Yeah, so basically going to full clear 9 to find the silver arrows, the worst feeling ever. This is the last
terrible
quadrant for him.
Yeah, he's just got a little tiny sliver of the dungeon left to full clear. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm impressed. He's clearing this really nicely with only six hearts. And he found that nice red ring I wanted, but.
Yeah, it actually, I believe, was in its normal location, very top right corner.
Oh.
It was pretty
close
high
to
up
there, and then I found a staircase and I ran.
Yeah, very interesting when things like that happen.
He's literally going to full clear 9, it looks like. I see the entire skull on his map.
He's got one room left, and it's the right room. Oh, it's the worst feeling ever. He's just killing this Patrick. Is like, I don't care. Oh, that's terrible. And he was super close to this earlier, and I think he took a death. No, he killed this Patrick. He just did not bomb down to go into the room. He went up. I knew he was really close when we found that Patra room, but just unfortunately took the wrong direction, which is one of those things in 9 that just costs you tons of time.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially when silver arrows are in 9, it means there's one item, one room out of the 57-ish rooms that are there. One single room has the item that you need. If you just don't get that right turn, it can be almost impossible. I mean, you can get through it really quickly, you can take forever.
Yeah, or you could be like me and find all the staircases except for that one, and then not be able to find the room anyways.
Oh, yeah.
But with this, you move on to the 3-0 group, which is going to have an even number of races, which is pretty nice to see.
It's scary. I mean, the level of competition just seems rising here. Even though we're at 3-0, getting to 4-0 and potentially having an easier seed, even that might not actually be an easier seed with the way these randomizer races work. But having that one extra win there would be really nice if we can pull it off. But it's definitely a relief actually being in that next round.
Yeah, for sure. I know for me personally, getting it was nice because I need to practice Second Quest dungeons. That is easily my largest weak point. I haven't played Second Quest since I was like 7. So learning those, especially if we end up with anything like the Saber Seed earlier, which you'll want to watch back because they had vanilla dungeons with vanilla rooms and vanilla items.
Oh,
so
wow.
Raft was in the Raft room in the same place, all the way through to level 9, which we'll just leave that for you to go watch.
I'm gonna have to check that out then. Wow.
Yeah, it was a fantastic seed. And if something like that occurs in the next round, like I would have no chance against somebody like Unos or Darkwing Duck, who have the knowledge of Second Quest already and what drops what. So.
Oh yeah.
It's just.
No, it's really. It's really amazing in seeing people play this because all these especially with this tournament, all these different skill sets are coming in to play. Some of that knowledge of First Quest, the vanilla play really ends up helping out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And it was unfortunate that Matrick, he's like, I want shapes, and he got about as far from shapes as possible with that feed. It was pretty funny because he's like, man, I hope I don't get regular dungeons against Saver, and it was, drop groups were shuffled, or the drops in the dungeons were shuffled, but everything else was normal, and it's just like, oh goodness.
Oh.
Oh man, and DigShake down to his last half heart here. This room is brutal with just a wood sword. It takes the death. Wow, what a rough room to deal with Ganon. It's so hard to get a stun lock in that room, just because to get that hit on him in the lower column, you usually have to be on the ladder. So trying to get down on the ladder, hit him, and then get over to the corner in time to get the stun lock is pretty difficult.
Oh, completely agreed. And that's part of the reason I tend to typically, especially if I've got Red Ring, it really helps, but I tend to typically play that room from the, I'm just going to hit you 8 times and I'm going to take the, take the little bit of damage and just stay in the middle of the room and let you walk over to me and attack you strategy. But when Ganon decides to Hyrule Drive you a couple of times, it messes things up a little.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, DigShake getting 3 bombs and 2 hearts off of the 5 red Wizrobes in that one room. It does get a better starting spawn this time, but unfortunately is not able to get the stun lock as Ganon goes to the opposite corner, but might have it now.
Yeah, he picked up a decent stun lock early in the first fight. Just couldn't keep it for all 15 hits or however many.
Ooh, he does lose it, but Ganon spawns in the same corner and he gets it right back, and he will finish off Ganon.
Well done, Dig. Well done.
So he just has to make his way back towards the start to get the girl. And DigShake finds Zelda with a finish time of 1:13:19. And now you both need to go race Zelda 2 Randomizer, and the time difference will determine the winner.
Quit.
Mario 3 Randomizer is the tiebreaker, though.
Okay, that one we can possibly make work.
Yeah, the unfortunate full clear 9 for DigShake. Even if he hadn't had those couple of mistakes early, I think that probably would have sealed the deal either way. And we do have a DigShake in chat. Congratulations on finishing that seed, my friend.
Oh, don't say that.
You know everything there is to know about level 9, though, now. So.
I sure do.
Yeah, you even found the red ring. I didn't wander into that room, so I was wishing I did, especially with my Ganon fight.
Yeah, I gotta check them all. Lost that race before level 9 though, so I'm not, the full clear 9 was not a good way to end it, but I don't think that's what cost me the race necessarily.
You may be right. Fred had been in 9 earlier, but had to leave because he did not get the bow originally. But he had a red potion, knowledge of where Zelda was, and silver arrows when he went back into 9, just about a minute or two ahead of when you got in. So
Yeah.
it was going to definitely be an uphill climb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with the crazy gamble, hoping, I was like, okay, might not need this bow, especially when, the first couple of dungeons that I found, they're level 8, level 5, level 8, had the Triforce, like, second room in on each of them. I said, okay, taking that, coming back later. And I had to come back later.
That sounds about right. Yeah, well, I mean, if you went to 5, 5 was about as good as it gets in terms of dungeons. 8 was
Yeah, if
not.
you actually took the turn to find the bow, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like you sunk a ton of time into it the first time you were in there, Fred.
Yeah, no, I mean, the first time I was in there, yeah, I just went up one room, grabbed the Triforce, and went. I cleared most of the bottom, I think, on the revisit to get the to find the bow. But I mean, it still wasn't a ton of time, but it was evil. It's an evil game.
Yeah, whoever thought this whole idea up, I don't know what's wrong with them.
So we blame Lack Attack.
You said it, not me.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, Dig, you and Fred were pretty much neck and neck going into 5. Just unfortunately, we've all done it. We're looking for that item, and we're in that, well, I need to find it mode. And like, okay, well, now I know level 5's got the bow, and just forgot the Triforce. I've done it several times myself, and it just sucks.
Yeah, it was 8, actually, that I forgot the Triforce.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Level 8, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I spent all that time hunting for items that I didn't need, and I died a lot on Death Mountain, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think when I look back at this seed, those are the things that I am most upset about, are the deaths on the overworld. They're so costly.
Yeah, they can be tough. How early did you found the wand pretty early, I'm guessing, too?
Yeah, I went right into 7.
Yeah, both of you guys found it, like right away.
Actually, it's a good thing. I apparently forgot to write down that I found the wand in 7. I was half debating between 7 and 5 as to which one to go back to.
Fortunately, 5 was right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, good
So
race,
Dig-
sir. Good luck on the next round. Hopefully, you'll be able to qualify for the play-in race there. As I said, you're a really strong competitor, so I definitely think you've got a good shot of getting in there.
Well, I hope I get a better draw next time, and I'm not the only 1-1 seed to draw a 2-0.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We shall see. It was fun, though. I had a lot of fun. And thanks, Fred, for making the randomizer. I tried to poke the Zelda 2 stick there, but really, without the Zelda 1 randomizer, the Zelda 2 randomizer wouldn't even exist. So.
And you've done a ton of awesome work on that one, so you get major props too. Creator to creator. This, you've made an amazing game there, and someday I may actually consider playing Zelda 2. Just mechanics are just tough.
Ask when are you actually gonna try it out, Fred?
It's all about the game mechanics of Zelda 2 is really the issue. I'm not very good at that combat stuff yet.
It's tough, but it's fun. All right, guys. Well, I need to head out. I've actually got rivalry night with my buddy Buzz Thunder. We're going to be racing some Adventure Island 2.
Ooh, best of luck on that.
Hey,
Thanks,
man,
Fred.
Good luck, Egg.
Thanks to that HN.
Yep.
This time around.
Yeah, thank you to Fred and DigShake for obviously for racing tonight, and thank you to Feasel and Speed Gaming for picking up both this and the race previous to this for us tonight. And I think that's all we've got. We've got a couple more races that'll happen tomorrow night. You can catch that on the Z1 schedule, and then we'll get our round 4 draws. So make sure you pay attention for those.
Yeah, and then later on the Speed Gaming channel coming up is Link to the Past Randomizer race, including our very own Jay Coper.
Yes, indeed. Be sure to check that out. It comes up in just about 20 minutes, so hang around and watch that race. I've been out of Geno's with my co-commentator here, Liquid Husband. Make sure that you go follow the two racers tonight. They deserve it. Go follow Liquid Husband, and we will catch you all on the flip side.
Don't you dare follow me. Go follow Adagino's.